Previously. X-Rated, the X-Men animated review show.
And the only way to ensure your obedience, to keep you all safe, is for there to be penalties.
Welcome to X-Rated, the X-Men animated review show. X-Rated Evolution. Where everyone is safe. This is a safe place for everybody.
Speak for yourself.
What's with this cheap dump anyway?
I don't know about cheap. Dump. Okay, I'll take that.
I'll take dump.
Hold on, I gotta turn off this baby monitor. It's gonna keep beeping at me. Oh, I don't know. It doesn't. Do they not turn off? Well, okay. Moving on. We're here to. Well, who are we? Who are we, Andre? Well, I just said who you were, but who am I? I am one of your
Very existential question. Who is anyone?
Well, yeah. Who? How did I mean that question?
Confirmed. He's unconscious and starving.
Yeah, well, I'm a little bit of both those things, and with me, as always, is Tabitha Andre Smith.
Not that I like you or nothing, but I don't want to see you get hurt.
I don't want to see you get hurt,
I don't want to get hurt.
Andre. Well, then
So don't hurt me, Devin.
I'll try not to. I mean, maybe this story will. I don't know. We're here to review X-Men Evolution, Season 2, Episode 3, Bada-Bing, Bada-Boom. Written by Greg Johnson and directed by friend of the show, Stephen E. Gordon.
Bada-Bing, Bada-Boom. I don't... This title has very... Just because there's someone named Boom Boom in it, they have to use a phrase that has boom in it.
Well, I think, maybe like with the thieving aspects of the episode, maybe it's like a bada-bing, bada-boom, get it done, get in and get out kind of thing. I don't know.
I'm not sure that's what Bada-Boom, Bada-Bing, Bada-Boom is supposed to be. Anyway. Our Italian listeners, let us know.
Let us know. Yeah. What's up, Andre?
Oh, just looking up Bada-Bing, Bada-Boom. Not much. Busy life as always. It's a day off today, but not for me. I was running around doing a lot of stuff. How about you?
Oh, just chilling, getting ready for spring.
No, yes,
Planting my plants, planting my seeds.
Getting your little seeds under there. Do you glow lights or whatever you do for them? Do you do that? Start
Yep, they're over there under the lights. Gotta start planting my tomatoes soon.
Plant your tomato? How do you get them in the ground? Or do you mean
seeds?
Okay.
My seeds in the ground.
I was going to say, it's fucking frozen. They wouldn't do anything. They just die. You just kill them.
Oh,
just be dead.
It's going to be frozen for a long time because there's just a thick layer of ice now. I don't know about up your way if it's just icy.
Not the same. It's
Yeah.
brutal right now. I was out at
Take a long time to melt.
Trivia night earlier, and it was the roads were really crummy getting home from it. So, I'm tired. So let's get this going.
Well, let's get into the episode then, shall we?
All right. Well, this is Bada-Bing, Bada-Boom, and we begin with first it kind of. Let me go back to the window here. First, I guess it just starts with sort of a. We saw Kurt there on the ledge. The X-Men are doing a training on the cliffs. Basically they're pretending. Nightcrawler's trying to be the victim, so he's trying to be passed out, and he's hungry, as he says. And Boom Boom is supposed to go to one of the new recruits. Boom Boom is supposed to go down and rescue him when she's distracted by listening to music. Wolverine gets mad at her, tells her to go off and do her thing. She comes down. She has this very blasé, devil may care sort of attitude with everything.
I like her. I like her moxie.
I kind of do too, actually, because she honestly, I feel like she's good for Nightcrawler because she makes him not feel so subconscious about being blue.
Yeah, it's true.
So
Boom Boom, you placed my life in the hands of a maniac?
Yes. She comes down and
Like she was
blasts-
messing with everybody last episode where they first appeared?
Yep.
Or the episode before, maybe at the end.
That was last episode.
Okay, yeah, like she was even causing mischief in that episode. Like she was like kind of
She
people.
Oh yeah, for sure. So she rides down acting all careless, makes a joke about that Kurt can change his name from Nightcrawler to Wild Blue Yonder Boy, which is a terrible name.
I have that here. Hold on.
Nightcrawler, huh? That name's just not working for you. I'm sorry. Whoa! How about Wild Blue Yonder Boy?
I like the voice actress that does her a lot too.
She is good. So she gets Kurt in the stretcher and starts bringing him up. She also calls Wolverine Badger.
I got that too.
Yo,
Right.
Badger, tug us up!
It's Wolverine.
Yo, Badger, tuck us up.
Like she didn't even bother learning Wolverine's name, which I think is kind of funny. Or if she, like, I do think this character actually maybe does know these things. She did. Maybe I'm reading into this, but it's just all sort of a front. This sort of attitude, as you'll find out more about her life later.
to keep people at bay so they don't figure out about her life and that kind of thing.
Kurt,
It's the old story as it goes.
Kurt falls out of the stretcher and then teleports back into the stretcher, saying that she lost 10 points because she didn't strap him in. And then they sort of start playing around, and she throws a few more of her little mini bombs from the side of the cliff, and then Kurt actually hits his head and knocks himself out and falls out of the stretcher. To his proverbial doom, however, Cyclops manages to shoot the rocks away in the water, so that he falls just in the water, and then Wolverine Badger does a crazy dive off the top, and Badger's a lot less scary sounding name than Wolverine.
What about Badger Man?
No, it's terrible. There was a character called the Badger. He's like part of Malibu Comics, I think, back in the day, or the Badger. But anyway, Wolverine goes in and saves him. Then the whole crew, I guess I could use this to do it. Then this is where she loses the points. You get the intro. So he's rescued by Wolverine, and then she's blasé. The whole team is getting chewed out by Xavier for screwing up this exercise. She's doing her nails, so obviously this is how much she seems to care about this. He puts them on restrictions for 2 weeks for goofing around, which includes being grounded, no powers, and 2 sessions with Logan daily.
I like how spending time with Wolverine is always just a punishment in this show.
Pretty much, yeah. She's going to say something, but Kurt stops her. We then see where the Brotherhood live, which is an erect old house. Toad's eating fly. Like, obviously the Brotherhood was sort of kept in line by Mystique in this place, but now that Mystique is gone, they sort of just turned the place into a pigsty because they're just a bunch of teenage boys with nobody looking after the place. Toad's eating flies. Pietro rushes in, checks all the cabinets, complains they don't have any food, which is ridiculous. Like they're so he's a speedster. He literally
we needed some serious corn, and I know where to get it.
We were saying about being a speedster.
Well, he can just go to the store. Like, obviously, he has loose morals. He can just go to the store and steal whatever he wants off the shelves. No one ever catch him.
He may have loose morals, but he is not a thief, sir.
Yeah,
and how dare you label him?
Pretty sure
as
he
such.
would be.
I'm pretty sure he's a thief. Yeah, I'll label him. I'm pretty sure.
They go upstairs, only to slam into something, come down the stairs again. We find out they're trying to break into Mystique's room. They think there might be some money in there.
That door's got to be made out of adamantium or something.
Or something. Yeah, he's got like really like his voice is crazy.
He's funny.
I like it, but it's so different than what I expect Toad to sound like. They're not sure they should try to break in. Blob says because she might come back, and Toad says she's not coming back. But they get a big argument about that. I like the picture of Toad against the wall.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah,
and I like the relationship between him and Blob. This show is getting quite a bit better.
It is. Now that we got some time with the characters, I guess. Nice stained glass window door, though. Look at that nice stained glass in the door.
It is nice.
It's expensive
I do
shit.
enjoy a stained glass myself.
So then we see Mr. Kelly makes an announcement about a fundraising carnival that's being held to raise money for the new gym, as the old one was destroyed by Avalanche in the previous little while ago there. And the office, he tells Secretary Dorothy to pick up the proceeds every hour and deposit them to the office safe. Turn around and find a man that's been standing there listening. Who's this fella? He tells the secretary that he's there to see Tabitha Smith. She's his daughter.
I'm sorry, sir. Tabitha has a restricted visitor list. I'll have to refer you to the Xavier Institute.
She has a restricted visitor list because of him.
Yes, he says thanks. Actually, that was perfectly timed. I was about to say next. So
Yeah.
he says thanks and leaves. In school, we see Tabby can't get her locker open. She uses her powers to get it open, and then realizes it's not her locker, which is like, sort of once again her sort of blasé attitude. Kirk comes up behind her, says she's not supposed to using her powers. They argue over the punishment. She snatches his burger bomb and his social studies book. Both without really asking, takes off. Kurt stands there with a sappy look on his face because he's kind of starting to fall in love with her, as we start to see. Evan shows up and tells him he's late for chemistry, which is the only line I think Evan has in the Star episode. He hasn't said, he's always appeared, but he hasn't said very much in this show. Aside from the first episode he was in, that's really the only one he talked in.
Yeah.
At lunch, we see Gene is still hanging out with Duncan and his friends at the table. Scott and sitting together talking about the carnival. Duncan. The proverbial we all know is going to become some kind of a bad guy in the show guy. So Gene, Kurt sees, yeah.
You think he's going to become a bad guy?
Well,
but he's not a mutant. What's he
no, but
do?
like a human bad guy. It'll be like the Friends of Humanity,
President Kelly, or
it'll be like the Friend of Humanity guy at the school. It's my theory.
Interesting prediction.
Once they find out about mutants, which we know is coming. Kurt sees Tab, calls her over. She gives him back his book, tries to snatch his drink. Let me get back to this. I'm getting a little ahead of my pictures. So yeah.
Gut bombs. I love these.
That's later, but gut bombs. But yeah, her daddy shows up.
Yeah, I don't have that here, which is weird. Oh wait, no, I did skip that part. Sorry. So she runs into her dad in the hallway, asks what he's doing there. He tells her that it took him 2 months to track her down. She tells him to leave her alone and starts to walk off. He tells her that her mom and him are trying to work things out and they can't do it without her. And she says try and leaves. So obviously there's some kind of relationship with her dad that's problematic.
Gut bombs. I love these.
When Tabitha gives Kurt back his book, we see that she's doodled all over it, which is kind of cute. We do see her having a bit of
they have a great relationship.
Yeah, like I would like to see these two get together.
I mean, they still might, like Avalanche and Kitty still hang out.
Yes, that's true. So while that's happening, Avalanche is starting to use his powers to get a soda to the machine. She shows up and uses hers to get soda to the machine, ruining the machine in the process. And he says that she fit right into the Brotherhood. She laughs and as if she'd want to, and then leaves. At the X Institute, we see Tabitha's father talking to Xavier, that she can't see her. He says that her mom made specific instructions that he wasn't allowed to see her. He said he'll go to the media and tell them what's going on here. Wolverine shows up.
I have a feeling him and the mom maybe not working it out.
Probably not. I think he has something he just said to get her to. But basically threatened to go to the media unless he can see her. When he grabs Xavier's his collar or something, Wolverine shows up and says he's going to take his hand off, put it in a jar on his desk, which is like pretty aggressive language for a kid's show. Although I'd love to see just like in the middle of the show, Wolverine cut someone's hand off.
He was upset.
Tabitha does see her dad talking to Xavier. They talk in the library. We find out that he wants her to help him steal some money. Because that's what she used to do for him before she got sent to the school, because he's a bad guy and always saw her as a method of getting money for him by using her powers with robbing places or busting in ATMs or anything like that. He says
get phones.
They get what?
Payphones. They would like
lawsuit
payphones.
Yeah, get what, like $30 in quarters.
Yeah, exactly.
So he wants her to help him steal the money. He says that this is the last thing that'll leave her own forever. She agrees to do it just so that get him out of her life. So Tabitha talks Kurt into porting them over to the carnival, even though they're grounded. They do some pranks, and they blast Blob's hot dog out of his hand. Lance and Blob catch sight of Tab and Kurt and follow them. On the Ferris wheel, we see Scott is sitting alone, and he's joined by Taryn Fujioka. Is that how I pronounce that right? Fujioka? Who walks up and asks if she can ride with him. He says he thought she was with Gene and Duncan. She says, yeah, but she thought she was with Gene. She says, yeah, but Gene's with Duncan and three's a crowd. So this might be the start of, because Gene walks by and sees Scott on the Ferris wheel with Taryn and looks jealous. So this is the start of the will they, won't they, both with the wrong people story that happens in all of these stories. You know, there's always the two
But at
people
least
that
one of
should be
those
together.
people isn't Wolverine.
Yeah, it's not going to be in this show. They're all teenagers. They're not going to, unless Wolverine was a teenager, they're not going to do that.
I know. I just like that one of them isn't Wolverine. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, it's actually kind of a four-way romance at this point. You got Duncan and Taryn involved.
And Rogue a little bit too.
Yeah, a little bit. So it's like I said, it's very teen drama. It's Dawson's Creek, but with powers. Which might be a dated reference, but I'm guessing if you're listening to this podcast, you're into references like this. You will get.
This was probably out at the exact same time as the Creek.
Yeah, probably
Late
Creek,
season Creek.
Late 90s was good. That wasn't it? I think it was when I was in high school.
Yeah, but went for quite a few seasons.
I don't want to wait for our lives to be over.
I used to watch the Creek.
I did not watch it. Starring famed Canadian Joshua Jackson.
Yeah.
Former husband of our pick for Storm, Jodie Turner-Smith.
Famed dater of beautiful women.
And actually, he was one of my favorite TV shows of the past that I don't hear talked about enough was Fringe, that he was in, which is a really good show. I like the show.
I love Fringe.
So, from the top of the Ferris wheel, I guess I should catch up with this. That's her threatening her dad. This is her taking him to the Ferris wheel.
The scrambler.
Right, she used her powers to make the scrambler go faster and make kids sick.
Oh my God, I took Edith, she was 3. I took her down to the carnival when it came to the waterfront here. And the first thing we went on, I didn't even think about it. I just took her on the scrambler. It's the first thing we did when we got there. And she just took it very well, but I was like, wow, I should have warmed up.
Yeah, maybe. Put on the teacups first or something.
Yeah, something.
I remember I was on one of those, and there's a kid with me, and he I went on by myself, and there's a kid that wanted to go on. He was small, and they put him with me, and he started freaking out about halfway through, and they just stopped the ride and let him off.
Oh, did you make him uncomfortable?
No, shut up. No, the ride, though. He couldn't handle the ride. Jesus Christ.
Well, kids usually enjoy the scrambler.
Well, I don't know if the scrambler or some of the ride.
Hey, man, scrambler gets going.
Scrambler's not that bad. I think it was the Space Out, maybe. That's the one with the one you're standing up and it goes like this. It's like a UFO kind of. Anyway, these are very specific references to the exhibition that comes around the Maritime. So
Berlin shows.
Yeah. So from the Ferris wheel, Scott sees Tabitha and Kurt porting around. Knows that they're out when they shouldn't be. We see, of course, her dad is there. His plan is to steal the carnival's door, like the money they make at the carnival. That's what he wants her to be part of.
Big score. She thought she was just coming to rip off a couple of small ATMs or something. But nope, he's going for a big score.
She grazes the duo, but Blob and Lance have been listening to what they're saying, and they think their financial troubles may be over. So Kirk is on time to see Tab with their father walking towards the school. He finds Scott, and they both go to find the other ex-kids to help Tabitha. After Tab and her father take the money, the Brotherhood ambush them. Toad takes off with the money. They'll wear the costumes. I like how everyone has the costumes except Blob just has regular clothes. Why bother wearing the costume? Yeah. So there's a big showdown with the ex-kids and the mutants battle out. Tabitha's dad managed to get a hold of the money during the ruckus and heads up to the roof. Tabitha follows them. But the roof begins to cave in, and she tells him to leave the money behind so he can help her, but he'd rather get the money, showing what a piece of shit he is. So finally the roof gives way. They both fall in. Kurt teleports them to safety. But her dad knocks him down and tries to run with the money. Tabitha follows him, but they're both stopped aside by the police. So Kurt and Xavier show up at the police station later to get Tabitha out. Her father has wanted a standing warrant, so won't be getting out for a while. Tabitha tells Xavier she had to get her things and go. The X-Men aren't a good fit for her right now. He tells her that she's welcome back if she changed her mind, and she leaves. And obviously, Kurt's heartbroken because it's his first shot at love. She shows up at the Brotherhood's house and uses her powers to break into Mystique's room, which we see as a palatial, gorgeous suite with chandeliers and king-size beds with queen.
Not that I like you or nothing, but I don't want to see you get hurt.
With canopy beds and everything.
Stop her. You go stop her.
Yeah, don't she know? No chicks allowed in the Brotherhood house.
Brotherhood house. Mystique lived in the house for a very long time.
She was the boss, though. She wasn't a chick.
I guess. She was a chick. So we see
When
Kurt's.
she sees what it's like out there, this place will look awfully good to her. Something tells me she knows exactly what it's like out there.
That's it. End of episode.
Yep.
Time for a word with our sponsor.
Nice.
Oh, yes, our sponsor.
You have a sponsor?
Are you a person who likes to get intimate and close with your partner, but you're also a succubus? Try Magistrate brand intimacy collars.
What is this from?
Genosian made, cruelty free.
All right, how much money do we get for that?
I don't know. We'll find out. All right, moving on.
So seriously, is that just a gag you're doing, or is that from something?
No, that was just a gag.
Okay, cool. I was like, is that really some kind of thing that we're sponsoring? You should run this by me. You're like, hey, we're sponsoring.
You thought there were really Magistrate brand intimacy collars?
Could be some weird nerd thing online that's doing a ripoff of X-Men stuff. I don't know. Speaking of which,
Each of us will have to look into his own heart and decide.
hi, Sean
All right,
Franklin.
what were you saying?
I said, yeah. Speaking of which, get us to sponsor your shit. Come on out. Yeah. Give us some money. Money.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, we don't do it for the money, but it'd be nice.
Yeah, why not? It would be. We got bills to pay.
Dead end jobs.
Malice defeat.
And problems with your wife. Remember the Simpsons when they're flaming moes? When the weight of the world has got you down and you want to end your life. Bills to pay, a dead end job, and problems with your wife. But don't throw in the towel, because there's a place just down the block where you can drink your miseries away. That flame will go to flaming moes. Sorry. Liquor in a mug, warm you like a hug. Happiness is just a flaming moe away. I had one of those when I was at the Simpsons part of Universal Studios. It was like $15, but it was good.
I would like perfume served in a man's hat.
With a plum. Don't forget about
With a plum served in
a plum
man's
floating in perfume served in a man's hat. He just reaches under and pulls it out. There you go. Like it's just waiting to go.
Yeah. It's classic. Classic stuff.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
All right. Well, X ratings. I really like this one. I'm
not bad.
I'm gonna give this one a 9.
Yeah, I'd say it's fine. 9's good. I'll go with you.
It's funny, but it also has heart.
Yeah, it has a bit of heart. I don't know. It's so different than the other show. I like the other show so much. It's so different.
Yeah, the other show is the best thing ever, but there's something that's not the best thing ever. It's getting better.
That's true. I'll give it a 9 too. Within the context of what we've seen so far, it's definitely 9.
Yeah, like it might be my favorite episode so far. So
I mean, I think the last couple parts of the last season were pretty great.
Yeah, those didn't do it for me as much. I thought those were kind of weird in a bunch of ways. All right, well, moving on to our X points, our uncanniest of X points. Oh, I was playing the old music. Huh. That would have confused everyone. Boom, 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 boom. All right. Well, uncanny X points. Well, here I'll start. Did you notice that Larry Houston's still involved in this show? He's doing storyboards. He's a storyboard artist.
Larry H.
Yeah, Larry H. The Great.
The Lairster.
Mm-hmm. All right, over to you.
Oh shoot, we're doing stuff.
We're doing a thing.
All of the New Mutants
talking
appear.
about Larry H. out of the blue.
All the New Mutants appear in this.
Out of the
episode.
great blue yonder.
They're all hanging around with Boom Boom, and she's listening to her headphones. You see the entire original cast of the New Mutants. However, none of them say anything. It's just Tabitha's name in the Toxins episode.
So far, I can't wait for the New Mutants episodes.
You
Magic
just got one.
though.
Boom Boom's in it. It happened right now.
True, I never saw her as much. She was with the New Mutants for a while, but I always saw her more as like with X Factor. She was always hanging out with that
X
original
Force.
X-Factor.
She's always in X Force.
No, but before that, she always hung around with X Factor, like
Too many
Cyclops' X
fucking
Factor
mutant
team.
teams.
Yeah,
Too
well,
many
she's been
mutant
around a long
teams.
time. Like she first started in X. She didn't first appear in X Factor, I don't think. It might have been in Fallen Angels. Like she was in Fallen Angels, and she was like one of the main characters in Exterminators and those kinds of series too. Boom Boom's been around a long time. Fallen Angels was going to be my recommendation. Actually,
I forgot about that. Yeah.
but now it's not. So go check that out. Go check out Fallen Angels. It's like where Bobby Roberto like strikes down Cannonball and out of anger. Then he finds out that Xavier is worried that he might go bad. You know, and that makes him mad and makes him sort of go bad for a little bit in a way. So, you know, kind of reminiscent of where they went with his character in X-Men 97. But,
Makes sense.
Yeah, check out Fallen Angels.
My second next point, Arcade shows up again in the background, hanging around. So
What?
I believe the next episode is when we see him actually become Arcade. So they're teasing us that. We talked about this a couple episodes ago. There's a kid in the background in the that was Arcade.
We're getting an Arcade episode next episode?
Yeah, it's the next
You
episode.
kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm excited about that.
There you go. Fun and Games, I think it's called.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, my next X point is the fuzzy dude. He says it again. It's almost a catchphrase for Nightcrawler now.
Yeah,
It's
the chick stick the fuzzy dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's Fuzzy
that's-
Dude. It's just his accent makes it sound like
The way he
Fuzzy.
says fuzzy. I like saying
It's not like
fuzzy.
Fozzie
That's what it
Bear.
sounds like. Yeah, he's a fuzzy dude. Stick the fuzzy dude. Yeah. That's it's a catchphrase. It's a good one.
This
Thank you.
episode is the second episode of the series when X-Man is not the main character.
What's the first? Rogue before she's an X-Man?
I think so, yeah.
Oh no, I don't think they ever had a.
Or there's a Mystique one, wasn't there, when she was like the main character? I think there's an episode with Mystique that she was mostly the main dude.
Well, something that's kind of my next point is something that's kind of a reference to the time. Is Toad makes a "Who Wants to Be a Millionaire" reference?
Right.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah. Very, very reminiscent of the time period.
Yeah.
The title of this episode, Bada-Bing.
Who wants to be a millionaire?
It's not a bad impersonation of Regis Philbin. The title of this episode is Bada-Bing, Bada-Boom, which immediately reminded me of the D Space Nine episode, Bada-Bing, Bada-Bang, from season 7, episode 15.
That's a great episode. That's
the
where they're
Vic
doing the
episode,
heist
isn't it?
on the holodeck. They're doing the heist on the
Vic
holodeck.
Fontaine episode.
Oh yeah, one of the best ones. Maybe the best holodeck episode ever. Love it. What's my next one? Is this my last one? Well, I kind of have two. One, Warren Ellis, the great Warren Ellis says Boom Boom was his favorite superhero name. And
You said this before in the episode that she showed up in before.
yeah, well, okay, then I'll skip that one. Well, Boom Boom is voiced by Megan Leach, who played Samantha Mulder on the X-Files.
Really? She's Mulder's sister.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. That's really interesting. I did not know that. That's a good point. Cool. Yeah, that's a show I've been meaning to go back and revisit. I get one more point. I had it here. Where'd it go? One more. Yes. So I don't think this is true, but when I was looking up some facts about this episode, one of the facts was the title of this episode is a reference to a Wiggles song called Bada-Bum, Bad-Dum-Bum, Bum-da-Bum, which I don't think is that true. I think it's hilarious that somebody bothered to write this down on a wiki page somewhere.
Were Wiggles around back then?
Yeah, they've been around forever.
Okay. That seems weird.
Agreed.
Do any of the Brotherhood have parents other than
Not referenced?
Because like they just live in this shitty house and they have no money and they're starving. It's just like, does anybody care?
Apparently not.
Where are the parents of these kids? I don't know. I need more backstory on the Brotherhood, I think. All right, well, that's our X points. Next.
Hey, check it.
This is Hey Check It, our comic reminiscences and recommendations segment. Why don't you go first?
Well, I was supposed to talk to a gentleman today. Unfortunately, he got his wires crossed and we didn't chat for my other show. But it had me, because of this gentleman, which I'm still going to talk to him. It's no issue. But because of this guy, it made me think about something because I was looking up some of his work. He is a Danish comic artist named Peter. I'm going to butcher his name.
Did you ask him how to say that?
No, I did look it up online. Snezjurg. You don't pronounce the B part. Peter Snezjurg, who worked on Animal Man for Vertigo Comics. But this is the version of Animal Man that came after Grant Morrison's historic run. So Grant Morrison did the first 3 volumes, and then after that we have others that continued on. So first it was Peter Milligan, who was a very famous English writer, and then
Peter Milligan did the Ecstatics.
He did, and then we had Tom Beach, who did Swamp Thing after Alan Moore left. He did a lot of really cool things in Vertigo Comics as well, and a lot of really interesting books of his own right. But then we had Jamie Delano, who was kind of known for doing a lot of Constantine books, but this was volume 6. And then the final volume of the series, which capped off the series, is the one that Mr. Snezjurg's art's in, is volume 7. But I just wanted to say, as a huge fan of Grant Morrison's Animal Man run, don't discount these. These are excellent and very different and really take what Vertigo did. I think Animal Man was pre-Vertigo, but it became Vertigo later when they started re-releasing these. But what it did with the books and the Animal Man mythos and how they carried on and continued in making it fun and weird and different, these writers did, is very interesting. And certainly thematically in the same vein of, if not different, because they're different writers with different ideas and different stories, but it they definitely paid tribute to the wild and weird and cool book that was to begin with. So don't discount those. Go check those volumes out and see the Animal Man that came beyond Grant Morrison. Obviously read that. That's the best. But these ones are well worth your time as well. So check out those stories too.
Very good. Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be a good episode of your show. Looking forward to that one. Well, these are tumultuous times we live in, Andre.
Do we?
So, yeah. So my recommendation is going to be We Stand on Guard by Brian K. Vaughan and Steve Scrose. I think it's Scrose. Sorry if I butchered your name, Steve. But it is, these are tumultuous times with most of the listeners of this show, because most of our listeners are from the United States, and we're in the middle of a trade war or something right now, apparently.
Not at the moment. It's been delayed for 30 days.
Well, is it? Some things have, some haven't.
It's so dumb. It's just dumb.
It's all dumb, but it's real. So
not really.
This is about a war between Canada and the United States.
Over water, if I recall correctly, which isn't something that
over water.
Which is something that is scarily probably happening.
Someone bombs the White House and they blame the Canadians and use it as an excuse to go take our precious water.
Which is a false flag operation, wasn't it? According, I can't remember. It's been a while since I read
it. Yeah. Well, I'm only 30 issues into my reread, so I'll let you know. But we're actually going to review it, myself and X-Goon Ryan, on Friday on our Trade War special. We're going to unite American Ryan, Canadian me.
Oh, I think you guys are doing a separate show. Is that under this banner?
Yeah.
What does that have to do with X-Men?
It's not, but it's like, it's right on theme.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that sounds fun. Look forward to checking that out.
Trade War special.
It's this Friday night?
Yep.
Nice.
So yeah, read that book too. I mean, there are a few times when you can tell it's a Canadians being written by an American, but for the most part, you don't notice that. But sometimes the references are just a little too surface level for like where a Canadian would be like, that's kind of like a bit cliche.
Yeah, Brian K. Vaughan's wife's Canadian, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, and most of his artists.
Yeah, so there's a lot of Canadiana in there, which is very much appreciated by those of us who are Canadian, so
yeah, like they watch on TV, like they watch The Littlest Robo. It's like this little like robot dog.
That's funny. That's really funny.
But so yeah, we'll be talking all about that. We're all still friends, X-Goons, don't worry. The trade war does not affect this show or the X-Men. Just affects prices in both of our countries.
Well, if you want to buy X-Men stuff from the States, yes, it will certainly affect that.
God damn it. This trade war sucks.
Nothing's happened yet. It's just him beating. Nothing has changed. We gave him nothing that we didn't already promise him before he tried.
That's
to do
true.
This.
That's
he
true.
just and when he saw the blowback from his own country, when he's trying to do this, he stopped it and then claimed it as a victory, saying that we gave him something we didn't. It's just the same thing it always was. So it's dumb. But the average person doesn't do enough research or listen to the news enough to understand these things and just accepts that Trump has gained some victory when in the end it's exactly the same as it was before. Something really bad. Like I kind of live on this world. It's like there's something I can do about it, but I don't know, man. I'm a little concerned about this stuff more than I want to be concerned about it. I'd rather just not think about it.
Yeah, so. I'd rather not think about it too. I'd rather think about hatching my chicken eggs that are gonna arrive in a couple days.
You're gonna need those when the fucking war happens. We need some
man.
Meat.
I'll still be eating. Come to my house. I'll make you dinner.
Sounds good.
All right, or breakfast with those eggs, perhaps. All right. Well, what are we doing now? The casting
movie
thing.
One? So the movie.
I don't know.
My movie recommendation. You didn't ask me that, did you?
Oh, I didn't. Hold on.
But I like movies, which is fine.
Audiovisual Club with Andre.
I just watched a movie today, which I'd suggest. It's called Heart Eyes. It's a horror film. Eyes. At the movie theater. You can currently watch. It's by the same director as the movie Werewolves Within, which is based on the computer video game. But this one is a serial killer named the Heart Eyes Killer. Wears a mask where the eyes are hearts that murders couples on Valentine's Day, and it's been doing this for several years.
Valentine's Day release.
A mismatched pair of people go out to dinner, which isn't actually a date, but they become targeted by the Heart Eyes Killer because apparently he thinks they are together, and then they sort of come together as they're running from this killer throughout the evening. So it's actually a sweet romantic comedy kind of movie with a slasher, wrapped around a slasher movie. So there's a lot of sweetness. A lot of sweetness in there, but it's on its own just as a fun horror movie slasher kind of take a send up of romantic comedies. It's a fun movie, definitely worth watching. So check that out. Heart Eyes.
Jeez, is the microphone picking up that wind? That was some crazy wind out there, man.
Yeah, mine's pretty nuts here too.
Yeah, Heart Eyes. I kind of want to see it. Sounds interesting.
It's good. Yeah, it's in the theater right now.
Right. Well, if I go to the theater this week, it's going to be to see Captain America 4 because
I already saw it. It was on Saturday. I thought you might want to talk about it today.
I did, but I haven't seen it yet. I'll see it this week. We'll talk about it next week.
We can talk about one part of it. I think it's not a big.
No, don't do it.
Okay.
Don't do it. We got other things we can talk about, such as.
I'm Peter Parker. How about you?
Kick his ass, Seabass!
Webheads! All right, we're talking about episode 3, Secret Identity Crisis of your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Yeah, it's a fun episode. We get to see Speed Demon in a new take on Tarantula. Oh, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Episode 3, right?
Yeah.
We see Speed Demon, Tarantula. Yeah, no, it's super cool. I've actually just finished catching up on it. Actually, no, I'm not totally finished catching up on it. But yeah, this show has completely turned me around. It's excellent.
It's great.
I really love it. It's every part of it is pretty great. It's got a rich in-world universe building around it.
I'm glad. I was a little taken aback by your hesitance at first.
Well, there's so many goddamn, like, it's just all a high school drama instead of an actual superhero show. And this has very quickly become a superhero show. So which is what I wanted.
Good music and cool characters. I love the animation.
And like the character design, they go dark. Like the second last episode I just watched is pretty dark. And
oh wow, yeah, it's great.
Which is great. And you know, the way they're building their relationships, it's a little different, but it's familiar, which I like. So it's a fun ride. We get lots of nods to the history of, you know, Marvel comics, Spider-Man comics specifically, including all these different characters that keep showing up in costumes and little nods to different things.
The show even made me like Harry Osborn, and I've always hated Harry in every iteration of everything. I've never
he's
liked
great
Harry
in this
Osborn, but I like this Harry Osborn.
I guess we shouldn't get too far ahead of ourselves. Just talk about this episode.
No, yes. Talk about this episode.
But yeah,
Secret Identity Crisis.
We see Norman, you know, and Spider-Man working together, starting to work together here, which is good. We see, you know, Tombstone kind of not Tombstone yet, but Lonnie Lincoln getting taken in by Big Donovan and his gang to protect his brother. His brother Andre. So you know, Andre's always get people into trouble, as we learn.
Yeah, man, don't they? There's troubles on this show too. Man, Lonnie's downfall is just so sad.
It is pretty sad, actually, although we all know where it's going. Once you met him on the show, you're like, well,
you're like, what a great guy. Oh, your name's Lonnie Lincoln. Damn it.
Yeah, but
it's real too. Like, you know, he's just trying to save his brother, and
yeah, but then he starts liking it. So it's a you know, it's a familiar thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I really dig it. Like this might, depending on how, I'm assuming this show's going to go on for a while. So
I hope so.
It might supplant the Spectacular Spider-Man as my favorite Spider-Man cartoon. Assuming
it's got potential, eh?
It's got potential. It's
you like Spectacular better than TAS, eh?
That's hard. I guess aside from TAS, it's the best one. But TAS, yeah, I don't know. There's something
TAS went for so long.
There's something about Spectacular that was really, I don't know. It had a lot of heart, and it was really cool how they connected all of the characters in the way they did. But they're doing that in this, and maybe that's why I like it, because there's all these characters that keep showing up that are sort of connecting in roundabout ways, and this is coming later, but the Unicorn character and all of her Russian associates are all in themselves other Spider-Man villains, and we're going to start seeing that. I know one particular one is showing up in the episode I'm just about to watch. So, you know, obviously the Rhino is coming because the guy that was with her is that. So we'll get into all that, I guess, later. But yeah, it's just cool, man.
A bunch of stuff I want to talk about, but we'll wait till we get there.
Yeah, all of the characters are really cool. They all seem really lived in. The world seems really neat, and I really like what they're doing with it. And I love that, like, all the stuff's going on around it. It's kind of the opposite of my big hang up with this show, like the one we're doing now with the X-Men show, is that it's also insular about this little high school thing, but this one has such a wider world, and the implications of it are playing into everything. Like in this world, we're getting the Sokovia Accords and the Avengers breaking up. It's not really part of Spider-Man's story, but it's reminiscent of, there's elements of Spider-Man's personal story that are connected to that, and characters that are, you know, so you see this wider lived-in world and all these nods. It's funny because in the intro to the show, you see a character that's in shadow looking down over Spider-Man. You just see his eyes, and the eyes are mismatched colors. And I was thinking, oh, well, that must be Norman Osborn or the villain. And I noticed in the show that it's the Scorpion, because his eyes are the same. They're mismatched. The colors are a little different on both eyes. So each eye, which is neat. And that character's great too.
Cool in this too. Yeah,
he's very cool in this. They certainly upgrade.
And this guy showed up again.
Yeah, he was in the Spider-Man show too. The movie.
Do
In the
a flip,
movies,
Spider-Man.
yeah.
Yeah.
And even having
Okay.
like in a future episode coming up, Charlie Cox is Daredevil, which is really cool. He's doing the voice of Daredevil. So
I've
it
seen
really
that episode already.
So did I. It's great. I'm right up until episode 8 is where I'm at. The newest.
Yeah. So they'll probably drop like the rest of the friggin' show on Wednesday.
I'm about halfway through that episode because Iron Man just showed up briefly. So, which is cool.
Man, this show's so good. I think it has potential to be my favorite Spider-Man show too.
It's pretty great, I must say. I really, really like it. The animation is really cool.
Rework. Like
well,
how
it's
they
like they
shuffle the world to make it not telling the same story again doesn't always work.
And even like the Spider-Man costume that's built for him by Norman Osborn is like his Future Foundation costume, which is kind of cool. Like it's just all very like it's just, and then he's trying all those other identity crises, which is from that storyline in the comics where he was like trying to hide from Norman Osborn, wasn't he? Which is why he had all these different versions of the costume. The identity crisis story from Spider-Man.
Well, it's because they thought Peter Parker was dead, wasn't it? So he was like,
I think so. So when they had that the May Spider-Man, or not May, the Maddie Spider-Man, Jameson's niece or something, or Spider-Woman.
Yeah, Maddie Franklin.
Yeah. Like Spider-Man getting saved by the glider. Like Norman he's building his own tech outside of Spider-Man, and it's all very cool. That is Ross. It's all lovely.
Yep, love it. Great show. Look forward to the next Webheads to talk about the next one. But we should rate this episode, and we forgot to rate last episode. We did it after the fact, so but we both gave it a 9. Episode 2.
This one's a 10.
Yeah.
I think they're all 10s after this one. So
I think they are too.
Yeah, for me anyway.
We haven't talked about him yet, but Doc Ock is so good. Doc Ock's my favorite villain, and this is probably the best portrayal of Doc Ock we've ever had.
The guy that does this voice, I'm a big fan of too. He was the main character on the show Hannibal. Hugh Darcy or Dancy. He on the show Hannibal. He played Will Graham, the Brian Fuller show, and he's fantastic in that.
Yeah, no, this show's great. If you're not watching it, you're crazy.
And you should go. And I know I'm not going to give anything away because I don't want Davin to.
No,
I don't want Davin. I don't want to ruin Davin's night. But I'm going to read my letterbox review for Captain America.
Go check out Andre's letterbox for all.
No, I'm going to read it for you. Oh, yeah, I do watch a lot of movies now. Yeah,
won't that spoil it?
No, I don't give spoilers on it. Okay. They have to cool it with the reels and trailers. You pretty much saw the entire movie already if you happen to see most of those, which were really hard to avoid. No, like they show you almost everything in those, like those reels and trailers show up on social media. It's a fun political thriller that isn't as good as The Winter Soldier, but elevated significantly by Anthony Mackie, Harrison Ford, and the whole cast, actually. I gave it 3.5 stars out of 5. I like Mackie's cap a lot. His first move is always de-escalation, and the attention paid to that fact and the character's history as a counselor is excellent. Deeper themes about guilt, second chances, and the pressure of representation were sneakily inserted and much appreciated. That's it. So
nice. That's what I was hoping for from the movie, so I'm looking forward to it. And I've heard Harrison Ford's really good in it.
He is really good in it.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing that this week. Maybe tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's cheap night. Maybe I'll go. Well, all right. Should we get out of here? Well, do you want to talk about casting for a minute? Because well, let me just play the music. Why not?
Are we casting
what you drinking there?
Oh, just water, fizzy water.
Yeah, well, I sent you that rumor about the MCU possibly casting Javier Bardem as Mr. Sinister.
Good choice.
Yeah.
I love Javier Bardem. He's one of my favorite actors because he's in one of my favorite movies.
Is it No Country for Old Men?
It sure as hell is.
I have that on DVD.
He's also in a movie that I could never suggest to anybody because it's fucking weird, but I think it's an interesting movie. It's called The Counselor. It was written by Cormac McCarthy and directed by Ridley Scott. It's got a crazy cast in it of like Michael Fassbender, Penelope Cruz, Javier Bardem, Brad Pitt, There's more Cameron Diaz. It's like, and a lot of people, but it's a weird movie that I'm not sure if it's serious, if it's a joke on us, if it's a joke on each other. I don't know, but it's a weird movie. But I like him a lot in it.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
So there, that'd be good casting. I think we agree they could just make him like Victorian era Spanish or whatever, and then there you go, instead of British, and he'd be menacing, quite menacing.
Yeah, I mean, he could be like a Hispanic. You know, he could be a Spanish. You know, because it was like turn of the century guy, right? Like it was like early 1900s. When Sinister was starting.
No, he's older than that. I think
late 1800s.
No, I think it's earlier than that. I think he's like late 1700s.
Really? It's like it's like in the X-Men cartoon. It was like, I guess it was around the time of Jack the Ripper, right? Because that was a reference to that.
So, I mean, he's like Victorian era, right?
Right. All right. Well, that makes sense. But yeah, there's Spanish people around at that time. So yeah.
Oh, sure.
It was 1800s. 1888 is when Jack the Ripper was killing people.
Okay.
So
I thought he was older than that.
The late 1800s. I mean, you know, the humans have only had like the technology and like the way we for like 100 and something years now, 125 years. So
true enough. All right. Well, yeah, that'd be interesting casting. And there's been some rumors going around of other castings too. And one is this, I don't know his acting very much, but they've kind of potentially cast Cyclops. And it may be a better pick, I think, than the one I chose, just because the height's better. He's like,
who is it?
He's like 6'1". I don't know. He's this British guy.
You get the name?
No. But look it up. Casting Cyclops rumors. Or something, but it's Harris. It's Harris Dickerson. It's the guy I mentioned. Yeah, that guy.
It's the guy I mentioned. You guys all told me I was stupid.
No,
remember?
You didn't.
Yes. When you and Jelani and Jelani were on here, we
Hanif.
Hanif. I had mentioned this guy. It's a guy from Baby Girl. And I showed you his picture and you told me it wasn't him. He was more of a Bobby Drake. You guys gave me a bunch of shit.
Let me look it up again. What's his name?
Harris Dickerson. He's a guy from Baby Girl and from Triangle Sadness. You guys all said he looked like Bobby Drake.
Oh, yeah.
You gave me a bunch of shit for it.
That's not the best face, is it, though? Yeah.
He would be great for it. And he was the one that he's the one that I said would be better for it. And you guys all gave me so much shit.
Oh, well, you know what? That's not
so much shit
right there. All right. Well, maybe we'll come back around on that.
You're eating crow. I knew you. I told every single person I've cast has been perfect in this, and that was the one that I said would be the perfect.
No, not everyone, but this one maybe.
Everyone is perfect.
I don't know. I don't know about the face.
Are you sure it's Harris Dickerson, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is he British?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one.
But he has an English accent. There's also mention of a guy called Jack Champion.
Yeah, he's like 6'2", so that's like a better Cyclops height.
Yeah, he's a good actor. He's in
all right, Harris Dickerson. We'll pick him for Cyclops.
My God, I'm so mad. You guys piled on me.
Well,
so
you
hard
got it in the
end. Yeah, no, he's a good actor. He'd be great in that role.
Well, another reason I kind of like that pick now that I've kind of looked into it a little is he is British and Cyclops isn't, of course, but I want
his like everything I've seen him in
to have a lot of gravitas, and British actors generally have that.
Everything I've seen him in, he hasn't done. He was in the Iron Claw, like the one like he's super good.
Who's he playing that?
Did you watch the Iron Claw?
Not yet.
Oh, he's one of the Von Erich kids. There's three. There's four of them.
Yeah.
Baby Girl, Triangle Sadness, where the Crawdads sing, which I didn't see. It was a big movie. He was in The King's Man. He was the main character in that, the one that was like the Kingsman prequel.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah. So, but he's really good, and he'd be a great Cyclops.
Let's pick him.
All right. I'm still angry. I was like, I got the perfect guy, and you guys like, who? And I'm like, Harris Dickerson. And you're like, We don't know who that is.
Look,
and I showed you the picture, and you're all like, "No, not him. He's bad."
It's gonna
like
take me some
him,
time to warm up to that face in the role.
He's 28 years old too. He's perfect age
because he has like a very thin featured face, like lower jaw there. So if you're covering up his eyes, he's gonna look. I don't know. It might look weird because it's like the glasses will make this topper head bigger, and he already has this like very thin kind of small jaw.
It's almost like he's a character called Slim Summers, almost. Maybe.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So we'll go with that, and might as well pencil in Javier Bardem as Sinister too, because that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be perfect casting for me. I'd be happy with that.
Yeah. All right. Well, now maybe we can get out of here. But
I can ask you my own show, you dick.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Oh, geez, I've only been called a dick 3 times today, but that.
Oh, really?
Hurt.
Let's call you a dick.
I kid.
The Graphic Histories Podcast.
What's up?
I don't want to talk about it.
All right. Well, let's
all right. Yeah, I know the new episode just dropped today with Jason Strutz. And the next episode is with, I believe it is with, one sec, I should have it up. Dan McDade. And then after that, we have Barbara Randall Kessel. So,
fun. Good.
I got a couple more to record hopefully this week. We'll see. So, should be good for a bit.
Yeah, right on. Check out Graphic Histories if you're not. It's a good show. Please do. I need more people to listen. Yeah. I got a decent amount of followers, but I could always use more. So, yeah, for sure. Listen.
Forgetting your homework.
Your homework is to watch episode 4 of season 2, X-Men Evolution, Fun and Games.
I can't believe it's going to be an arcade episode. I'm excited.
In which we meet Arcade.
Oh, that's crazy. I can't believe that. How's that going to work?
Whose actual name in the show is, I just had it here. His name is Weber Torque. Is his real name. Tork. Torque.
Okay, Weber Torque. Torque from Mork.
Has Arcade ever had his real name said in the actual universe?
I don't think so.
Arcade X-Men. Let's look him up. He is no.
He's like this secret assassin,
A.R. Kandinsky, but I think that was he's created by Chris Claremont and John Byrne.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Fictional characters.
We'll talk about Arcade a lot next week. That's for sure.
No, he doesn't seem to have any real name alias.
Another favorite villain of mine for sure. I like the silly kind of 80s ones like Mojo and.
Oh, I like the white suit with the big polka dot bow tie. Arcade.
It's great.
That's good.
And also either read or check out our review of We Stand Our Guard on Friday.
Yeah, go check it out. Sounds like fun.
Yeah, why not? You can support the show at patreon.com/X-Men Review Show. Get merch at redbubble.com/people/X-Men Review Show/shop. Or contact us at xmenreviewshow@gmail.com and find our audio-only version wherever you get your podcasts. And of course, please like, review, subscribe. Send us money. No, that's okay. Stick us in a murderous world of your own design. Have us jump through hoops for your entertainment. Maybe do that next week. It'll be more on brand next week.
Instead of an emotional murderous, so like
well, you can make it an emotional one too. But all right, I'm ready.
You want to ascend? To go to the next level?
Yep.
All right.
I'm ascending.
All proceeds will help cover the cost of rebuilding after last month's fire.